video from Costa Rica Crypto. What is that? And today I want to talk to you guys about EOSDAC. And for anybody who doesn't know what EOSDAC is EOS is what's called a DAC, which is a decentralized autonomous community. And essentially what they have done is they ran for block producer for block 1 for the EOS chain, and they decided that they wanted to do it a little bit different. They wanted to make a community BP, which I thought was like a super cool idea. And they airdropped their tokens out, which was based on a snapshot, which was done before the actual Genesis snapshot. So anybody who doesn't know Genesis snapshot, what is going on? Genesis snapshot was the snapshot that took the ERC20 tokens, so the Ethereum-based tokens, into the EOS tokens. And they decided that they wanted to do their snapshot a little bit early, which I thought was kind of cool, just to reward kind of some of the early adapters of EOS. Anyway, there's been a little bit of drama with EOSDAC, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I think that there's going to be some misconceptions, and there are going to be some opinions on it, and I think that everybody needs to kind of hear the two sides. Yesterday there was a bit of a conversation that happened in the Telegram group. Binance, all of a sudden, and anybody who doesn't know Binance, it's one of the biggest exchanges. Binance basically said in a statement that they were going to be distributing airdrops. Now, they didn't necessarily say EOSDAC, but the assumption is that it is EOSDAC because there's no other EOS application with the name DAC right now that I know of. I could be wrong. So that was kind of taken by the community that EOS, or that Binance rather, was going to be supporting this drop from EOSDAC. Now, the interesting thing was, what happens sometimes with airdrops is that they go to exchanges, and the exchanges don't always necessarily distribute these airdrops to everybody. So what EOSDAC kind of said is they reached out to various exchanges, and they made communication in particular with Binance. And if you want some backup for all this, just go and check out their Telegram group, because there was a conversation that happened there yesterday. So Binance basically said that they were going to be supporting the airdrop from EOSDAC. But the problem is that after EOSDAC took the time out to reach out to all these various exchanges, nobody was really returning their communication from Binance. So they did something that was surprising, in my opinion, and it was a beautiful thing. I thought it was really cool. They didn't want to just hand over a big portion of this community-owned block producer to the exchanges when they didn't know for sure that they were going to be distributed. So they decided that they were going to burn off any of the tokens that would go to holders inside of the exchanges to make sure that major exchanges didn't become massive forces inside of their community. And I thought honestly that was a pretty good call. I was pretty surprised by it. So they actually burned those coins, got rid of the supply, got rid of those tokens that would have possibly gone to exchanges. So they did that, and they announced that. And then sure enough, yesterday Binance dropped a message on their site saying that they were supporting this DAC drop, which is 99% alluding to EOSDAC. So immediately the Telegram group was flooded with all these messages from people saying Binance is saying that they're supporting the drop, but the problem is these coins are already burned. They already promised the community, and they promised the holders of EOSDAC that they wanted to do what was fair and what was just by taking those out of the equation, because they couldn't be assured that they were going to actually go into the hands of the people who were holding EOS. And when they said that they were doing that, in my opinion, it gave them a little bit more credibility. So anyway, now all of a sudden Binance has issued this statement, which you can see on their website, which says that essentially if you had coins, that they're going to be able to, that they're supporting 3 airdrops, and you'll be able to get your coins, and then they encouraged these airdrops to reach out to them. So it was kind of a weird play, and I also like Binance too. Like, I've traded on Binance for quite a while, but I think kind of what happened is they got enough people saying, are you guys supporting this drop? And they scattered, and even though DAC tried to reach out to them and tried to come to some sort of agreement with them, they kind of backpedaled, and now they've kind of put it on the placemat of EOSDAC, saying, okay, reach out to us for the tokens, knowing fully well that they're already burned. So I think that right now I'm seeing like a lot of posts on Reddit that are actually saying that Binance is going to support the token drop, and the latest coming from the Telegram group, coming directly from the horse's mouth themselves, is that that they're not going to. And I understand why they're not going to. It makes sense to me personally. If all of a sudden you were a holder in EOSDAC, and then they made an announcement that they were going to do the right thing and they were going to burn these coins, and then all of a sudden Binance contacts them, and it's interesting to really, when you really want to start peeling off the layers, because the truth of the matter is that if they went back on their word, unburned these tokens, and sent them back to Binance, it's pretty likely, although not guaranteed, it's pretty likely that that would come with a listing from Binance itself, and that would be a positive force for the community and for the group. But what they have basically said is that we're not going to do that, and the reason for not doing that, in my opinion, is because they want to continue to have integrity within the community. And if you're a big block producer that's community owned, and you start going back and forth and start acting wishy-washy, it takes away a lot of credibility, in my opinion. So I think that, honestly, in my opinion, I think that that was the right call. I do feel bad for the people who had coins on Binance, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I think there might be a little bit of it's my French bulldog and my other dog fighting to death, as they usually do. I think there's going to be a bit of an uprise over this, and I just think that it's important that people know that EOSDAC did the right thing, that they did reach out to Binance, and that they did actually try to make some communication with them, sparing that they didn't want to hand away a large portion of their community to an exchange. And I think that it was the right thing to do. So it's important to know all sides of the stories. I would recommend that you join the Telegram group for EOSDAC. Head over there. They're pretty cool guys. I really like EOSDAC. I think it was a really, really cool idea to build like a community-based block producer. Like, I think that that's brilliant. A lot of people have issues because they've said, well, they're paying for their votes. But when you create a community and then you hand that community over to people, you're not paying for votes as such. You're making somebody a part of the community. Like, the only people who are going to benefit are the community themselves. So I think that they took a lot of heat from that, and I think that they're really careful when they're talking about the kind of rewards that are going to be received from EOSDAC. And I have a few things that I think are going to happen, but nobody's really going to know until the community is up, until it's booted. But I suspect, I know they're also incubating dApps, so decentralized applications, and I think that they're going to be a dApp enabler. So they're going to incubate these dApps, they're going to invest in these dApps, and I think that there's a big possibility that EOSDAC token holders are actually going to benefit from these dApps with possible airdrops. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see the way that it plays out, but I think that I'm constantly surprised by the integrity displayed by EOSDAC in doing these things, and I'm a token holder of EOSDAC itself. Once again, not financial advice. I hate doing these things because anybody who listens to a random stranger in a striped shirt on the internet for financial advice, probably needs to kind of resort their priorities. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a fan. Nobody knows how things are really going to go, so don't take this as financial advice. But EOSDAC is really interesting, and I've been really, really impressed by the way that they've played, the way that they've kind of played everything. And I think that we're going to see some big things come out of EOSDAC. And I'm stoked to see EOS get launched yesterday. And I want to know what you guys think too. So make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you leave a comment below. Remember, I'm just the messenger. I'm not responsible for any of this. I just think it was fair to kind of let the community know ahead of time that they did make an attempt to reach out, and then failing that, Binance has kind of issued this statement. I know there's going to be a lot of fallout from that, but I just think it's important that we share the information, and I think that it's important that we protect the integrity of EOSDAC, because they've built a really cool platform, and they built something that's gonna incubate DACs and give back to the community. So I felt like it was important to try to tell the full story of what was really going on here. I still want to know what you guys think. Comment below, smash that like, and we'll talk to you soon with another video.